Yes. Cthulhu, my aquatic hybrid. And Fireboy and Earth Fox's Voltrix Wyvern and Terrense Monstrum. All three of these hybrids meant to kill Vex. All three of them can kill Vex. But the question is, who would be the survivor if they fought each other? Who is the top dog of the aquatic hybrid wars? Who will come out as the champion? Who will come out of the day surviving? Who will survive the fight between the three? That is what I am here to answer. Who created the most powerful aquatic hybrid? What is up, everybody? It is your host Inferno back with a new video. And in today's video, I'm going to be putting up my aquatic hybrid Cthulhu up against Fireboy and Earthfox's very own aquatic hybrids, Voltrix Wyvern and Terrense Monstrum. Now, first things first, whose hybrid is which? Well, Voltrix Wyvern is Fireboy's hybrid, Terrense Monstrum is Earthfox's hybrid, and Cthulhu is my hybrid. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. So, starting off with Voltrix Wyvern, what are his stats? What's his genome? Let's dive in, literally. So, starting off, we have Titanoboa and Viscini Indicus. Both of them provide the base. Viscini Indicus provides overall size, while the Titanoboa provides the overall build. Next up is Pit Viper, which provides some gnarly fangs, heat vision, and sense of smell. Then is the Electric Eel, which provides the electric organs, but he didn't clarify this in the video, so I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and that the electric organs are in the tail, like a real-life electric eel. The electric eel also provides electroreception, which means he can detect the heartbeat of his prey items, which means nothing is hiding from Voltrix. Then is Deinosuchus. Deinosuchus provides the osteoderms, so thicker hide. Then is Parasaurus, which provides an enlarged skull for a contributor later down the line. Next up is the Orca, which provides echolocation, intelligence, and gives this hybrid the ability to pack hunt. Then is the Dragonfish, which provides bioluminescence, and the red stealth light, which, for those of you who don't know what that is, Dragonfish have a red light, bioluminescent red light underneath, like right underneath their eye. And because not every animal can see red light, it basically makes this guy invisible. So yeah, very useful trait. Then we have the spiny dogfish shark, which provides USWS, which stands for unhemispheric slow wave sleep, which means that half of Voltrix Wyvern's brain is going to be sleeping, and the next is going to be awake. So basically, this guy never has to sleep, and he's also never awake at the same time, which is super cool. Then, the spiny dogfish shark also adds dentin teeth, which is the same material that elephant tusks are made out of. Then, we have the disease and venom immunity, which the spiny dogfish shark does have quite a lot. Then, the next contributor that the Parasaurus enhanced is the Leviathan, which provides the death-rattling clicks, which, believe it or not, could actually disrupt echolocation sonar. And not to mention that they're just crazy loud, so yeah. Then is the green moray eel, the final contributor, which gives it experience on how to best move with its body type. So yeah, that's the genome of Voltrix Wyvern. Now, onto the metrics. He reaches a length of up to 17 meters. Then, his weight is up to 1.5 tons. So yeah, that's Voltrix Wyvern's stats. He is a beast in the water. And now, moving on next to Earthfox's hybrid, Terrense Monstrum. And the base is the Brigmophyseter shignasis, which is basically an ancient sperm whale. Then, to enhance the build, we have the Orca, which influences the overall body shape to resemble that of an orca, adding greater agility. The Orca also benefits intelligence and hunting tactics. Then is the Northern True Seal claws. And yes, Northern True Seals have clawed flippers. So this guy's going to have clawed flippers to basically worsen the wounds of the bite. Then we have the Beluga Whale, which provides echolocation and intelligence. And Beluga Whale echolocation is actually one of the most advanced forms of echolocation. in the animal kingdom. And lastly, we have the African dwarf crocodile, which provides the armor. Now for the metrics. This guy comes in at a speculative length of 7 meters and a weight of up to 10 tons. And I say speculative because this guy, Earthfox, did not mention his metrics. So yeah. And this is just a reminder, but I'm going to be going over Cthulhu's genome as well. First off, we have Prognathodon, which provides the base genome. Then, Komodo dragon, which provides iron serrations in the teeth and the venom. Next up is the Orca, which provides intelligence, dentin teeth, 360-degree vision, night vision, echolocation, and hunting tactics. Next up, we have the Purosaurus, and the Purosaurus provides an enlarged and thickened skull. It also adds the immune system and the capabilities of using the death roll tactic. Then, we have the Arapaima which provides my hybrid with the thick, durable scales. And Arapaima scales are actually more durable than bulletproof Kevlar, so that should say enough already. Then we have the Cuttlefish, which provides the hybrid with the capabilities of camouflage. But Voltrix Wyvern has electroreception, and Terrense has echolocation, so it won't really matter. But next up, we have the green moray eel, which provides the double jaw, the pharyngeal jaws, I think that's how you pronounce it, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but the second set of jaws in the throat to pull in flesh from the opponent. The green moray eel also adds its super fine-tuned sense of smell, which is capable of detecting unique chemical traces. So basically, it can identify, even with its eyes blinded, it can identify like what this is and what that is based on chemical traces. It also provides the slime, and the slime is actually toxic. So anything that bites down onto him is going to get a mouthful of toxic slime. However, because the slime would add a lot of drag, it is underneath the Arapaima scales, so that way when a predator bites down onto him and somehow manages to pierce his Arapaima scales, they're going to get a mouthful of green moray eel slime. Also, there's this crazy thing that the green moray eel adds, which is regenerative, enhanced regen. No, I know. I didn't mention this, but Grimoire, and this is like something that isn't getting my hybrid hanks. So just sit down and listen. So the green moray eel slime actually helps to clot wounds faster. So basically, like picture this: Cthulhu just like escaped from like this nasty battle against another hybrid. He has like this nasty wound on his on his underbelly, and then the green moray eel slime will allow the blood to clot faster to ensure that the wound heals quicker, and so that way he can't be tracked. So yeah, now we go on to the metrics for Cthulhu, which is a length of 14 meters and a weight of up to 15 tons. So yeah, this guy is a beast in combat, but so are the others. Now, let's get into the battle analysis and also address some of the fatal flaws in these hybrid creations. So starting off, we have speed. Now, I would say that this category would easily go to Cthulhu. Now, let me explain why. First of all, in Voltrix Wyvern literally has like 0 speed. Like he doesn't even have a tail rudder. So yeah. In Fireboy's video, he said that Voltrix would have a swimming speed of up to 10 miles per hour. That's mediocre to Cthulhu's swimming speed of up to 30 miles per hour. So yeah. And Terren's Monstrum isn't that much better because his African dwarf crocodile scutes would provide a lot of drag. Well, sure, they can defend him from attacks really well. It does add a lot of drag. So yeah. Overall, in terms of speed, Cthulhu takes the cake. And the same goes for agility. And while Terrence would still be able to like go decently fast and is decently agile, just not to the extent of Cthulhu. So speed and agility goes to Cthulhu. Next up, we have intelligence, and this easily goes to Terrence. Like, dude, literally, this guy has a combined brain of the orca and the beluga. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say. And I'm not saying that Terrans and not Terrans, that Voltrix and Cthulhu are dumb. They certainly are not. They are very smart. Both of them have orca contributing to intelligence. It's just that because um Terrence has like Brigmophysit orca, beluga whale contributing to intelligence. It's just like the gap is just so large. So intelligence goes to Terrence, although Cthulhu and Voltrix are not at all dumb. They are quite smart. Next up, we have weaponry. What kind of weaponry do these guys bring to the table? And let's start with Voltrix, which brings the deadliest, probably brings the deadliest array of weapons, which is Constriction, Pit Viper Fangs, Electric Eel Shocks, the Death Rattling Clicks. It also adds Dentin Teeth and Hunting Tactics from the Orca. So, pretty deadly array of weapons, especially that electric railgun. So, but next up, we have Terran's Monstrum, which brings clawed flippers and a deadly bite. That's about it. Yeah, this guy doesn't really have too much weaponry. Although his bite and clawed flippers make a deadly combo together. So maybe that could save him in this category. And next up, we have Cthulhu, which brings the death roll, his toxic slime. He also brings his pharyngeal jaws and his camouflage. So that is, and yes, the camouflage can be used as a weapon, like just like disappearing and then reappearing like right behind them. So yeah, it's a weapon. Okay, okay. So yeah, in terms of weaponry, I would say that it's closer between Cthulhu and Voltrix. Terrence is left far behind in the dust. So I would say between Voltrix and Cthulhu, I would say that Voltrix does take the cake overall. So in terms of weaponry, so Voltrix takes this category. But can he take the next one, which is durability? Now, Voltrix Wyvern does have like Dinosuchus armor, but like it's just the osteoderms, so I'm like its underbelly is completely exposed, so it's gonna it's lacking in the overall durability department. Now, well yes, the African dwarf crocodile armor would provide a lot of drag. You gotta admit, it provides great armor. Armor on the underbelly, on the sides, on the top. This armor is crazy. And Cthulhu brings in Arapaima scales. So yeah, um, it's just a matter of whose bite can pierce the fastest. And honestly, I would say Cthulhu could probably pierce the dwarf crocodile armor the fastest because he's just so much faster. It could land so many repeated blows, and his bite is not something to scoff at either. So while in terms of like the armor overall is pretty close, but it just came down to the matter of who can pierce each other's armor the fastest, and that goes to Cthulhu. So durability goes to Cthulhu, my hybrid. Next up, oh by the way, I also forgot to mention, at least I think I did, but Grimoire Eel also provides a sense of smell. So yeah. And next category is senses. Who has better senses? Now, while Terrence is lacking in the senses department, his echolocation carries him. Because he has beluga whale echolocation, which is one of the most advanced forms of echolocation in the animal kingdom. Voltrix brings his heat vision, his insane sense of smell, and his electroreception. Cthulhu brings 360-degree vision, night vision, his insane sense of smell, and he also brings echolocation to the table. So yeah, while what is it again? Right, Terrence brings the better echolocation between Cthulhu. That's just really it for him in terms of senses. While Cthulhu just has so much more. However, because Voltrix Wyvern has electroreception, you can't really hide from him. And because Cthulhu has a moray eel sense of smell, Voltrix can't really hide from him either. So overall, senses is super close. And well, you could make the argument for Voltrix. I'm gonna say it's a tie in terms of senses. Bagby moray eel sense of smell is just too cracked. So next up, we have bite. Who brings the deadliest bite to the table? Now, Voltrix Wyvern, while his bite is nothing to laugh at, compared to uh, Terrense and Cthulhu, he just kind of gets left behind, honestly. And yeah, Cthulhu and Terrans just have so much more powerful bites that they can just like more easily pierce Voltrix's armor. Well, Voltrix would have a tougher time piercing their armor. So yeah, it's down to Voltrix and Terrans in the biting department. So yeah, well yes, Brigmo Visitor does have an insanely powerful bite. The skull structure of Terrans doesn't look like powerful enough to have like a bite force like as strong as the original Brigmo Visitor base genome did. While Cthulhu not only brings a powerful bite force, but he also brings an X factor to the bite, which is the death roll. So overall, in terms of bite, Cthulhu takes the cake. Now, with all of that taken into consideration, it is time to find out who the ultimate aquatic hybrid is. Now, by the way, a disclaimer. This video is not meant to like hate on Fireboy or Earthfox's hybrids. You guys cooked up absolutely insane beasts. And yeah. Just yeah. This video isn't meant to hate on your hard work, just pointing out some flaws. So yeah. And like here's some flaws that they could exploit with Cthulhu. First of all, his issue of energy consumption, which is like he would have burned through energy more quickly because of the like hyperactive like Orca combined with Prognathodon. So energy consumption could be more difficult for him, and if he got into a prolonged fight, it would be more difficult to him for him. Also, uh, with his gosh, what was it again? Because Voltrix has the death rattling click uh from the Leviathan, his Cthulhu's echolocation would be rendered obsolete, and Orca echolocation, it's alright. It's nothing like as good as the Beluga. It's just an alright echolocation. He probably wouldn't even like rely on it too much. So yeah, his echolocation isn't the best when it comes to other marine hybrids. And not to mention that, unlike Voltrix has like the ultimate counter against that. So yeah, those are some issues with Cthulhu. I could go more, but I kind of just want to get to the victor on who I think would win. Personally, okay? Personally. Okay? Personal, who I think would win. Let me know in the comments who you think would win and why. Give me context. You can't just say this guy would win with like nothing after that. Give me your reasoning, okay? I want to hear it. Like seriously, it would help me out a lot, so that way I could like see something that I didn't notice that time. So yeah. So overall, who would win this fight? And this, it took me a long time to think about. Each hybrid has something that can counter the other, because like Voltrix coiling around Cthulhu and like breaking or fracturing his Arapaima scales releases the moray eel slime, which is like basically the counter to constrictors. Voltrix has his death rattling click, which fully negates Cthulhu and Brigmophysite and the Terran's echolocation sonar. And Terrence has his Northern True Seal clawed flippers, which will worsen any wound of his bite. So yeah, this would be a battle of the ages. And by the way, I forgot to mention this earlier, but the arena is just like basically what the hybrid war style is. No places to hide. So Cthulhu's cuttlefish camouflage is basically non-existent here. So yeah, so let's get to the question: who would be the first to go down? And honestly, I personally think it would be Terrens. Now, Earthfox, I can hear you raging at your screen. Just let me explain. So, first of all, the dwarf crocodile armor would add insane amounts of drag, and judging from the artwork, I don't think he has like dwarf croc armor on the oh my gosh on the flippers. So those would be a pretty big target. Especially because like Voltrix and Cthulhu are smart, they would probably target those since they're like the least armored area um of Terrans. Um, so yeah, so that would render his mobility and his like one of his main forms of weaponry, and then he would just be easier to pick off. So not to mention another way he could go down is like Cthulhu just ramming into him multiple times and then just like finishing him off with like a death roll. However, here's some ways that Terrence could probably pull out the W, which is to like just like continuously bite, keep using his True Seal Clawed Flippers, make sure to keep the flippers away from Cthulhu and Voltrix, and like just after that with them both of them bleeding out, they would probably be easier to pick off. Cthulhu's blood would probably not bleed out all too quickly because again his green moray eel slime, but it would still probably bleed out to like some extent, especially if the wound was really bad. So yeah, that is a way Terrence could win, but unfortunately, in my eyes, he just goes down first. And now, the final showdown, 1v1, Voltrix versus Cthulhu. Who takes the cake? Now, here's some things that they have advantages over each other. One, Cthulhu has a massive advantage in the speed, agility, and durability department, which means he can basically dance around Voltrix and just landing blows repeatedly. Now, Voltrix's advantages, which is coiling, because Cthulhu doesn't have gills. Um, Voltrix can just like squeeze all the air out of him, making Cthulhu unable to breathe. He also has his electric eel shock, which could momentarily paralyze Cthulhu, allowing him to get the wraparound and then end him. So, this fight would take a long time, which is a bad thing for Cthulhu. So, with all of that taken into consideration, I've selected a winner. And that winner is Cthulhu. No. I know. Oh, you're just saying that because it's your hybrid. No, that may seem what it's like. Just let me explain. So, here's the thing about speed. Well, not the most important part in a category. When the speed gap is just too big, it just becomes like a beatdown. And not saying that this fight would be a beatdown. Voltrix's durability would allow him to stay in the fight for a long time. But like the speed gap would just be like too big, where Voltrix wouldn't really be able to land that many blows. And uh all it would take is one good death roll from Cthulhu to take out Voltrix. Well, I don't think it would like fully break through the armor. It's not like cutting him in half or anything. I do think that it would like sever the spinal cord, paralyzing Voltrix. However, if Voltrix was to land an electric shock, that would probably be the end of Cthulhu. But because of the speed gap and the agility gap, I just don't really see that happening. So overall, I do see Cthulhu winning this fight more times than not. He has the speed, he has the agility, and he has the weaponry to pull it off. However, this fight could definitely go either way. If it just kind of depends on um like the circumstances. Um like um if Voltrix and Cthulhu were like to go at it and the intelligent Terrans was to like wait them out till like they were like battered and bruised, then Terrans would come in and then take the W. If Voltrix was able to land electric shocks to Cthulhu and Terrense, then he would absolutely take the W. However, because of Cthulhu's speed, those things would be kind of unlikely, which is why I do personally think Cthulhu would win. Cthulhu is my hybrid, by the way, for those of you who don't know. So yeah. However, there is one thing that I noticed while working on this video, and that is all three of them have Orca contributing to the intelligence. Now, this might seem confusing. Let me explain. Now, all three of these hybrids use Orca in the genome to enhance intelligence and social behavior. So, these guys would probably not even want to fight each other. They would just like stay out of each other's way. So realistically, this fight wouldn't even happen. However, there's a second thing that can happen, and that is all three of them form a pod. Now, just let me explain. I know you guys are like confused right now, but just let me explain. So, because all three of them share Orca in the genome, if and only if they were like to like try to gain each other's trust by, like bringing food for them or like like hunting tactics and stuff like that, and if they formed a pod, they would be nearly unstoppable together. Like they cover each other's weaknesses so well. Like Cthulhu would be like basically be like the defender for Voltrix and Terrens, like making sure like they don't get like outflanked by like a faster hybrid. Voltrix could easily paralyze any hybrids with his electric railgun, allowing Terrens and Cthulhu to finish them off quickly. And Terrens could like just worsen any wounds that any of his pod members land. Now, I know that might sound like kind of outlandish, and I do kind of agree that it is, but it's just a thought that I think would be cool that these three would form a pod. And these guys would be so powerful together that nearly nothing would be able to defeat them. Like Vex's family, I don't think that they would be able to defeat this trio. So yeah, that's just a thought. And that is all for this video, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed it. This took quite a long time to make. So yeah, I've been working on this for like a couple of weeks now. Yeah. Let me know who you think would win in the comment section and why. Do you think it could be the electric serpent Voltrix, or do you think it would be the intelligent bruiser Terrens? And let me know why you think they would win in the comments, because I would love to see your reasoning. So yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, do everything, and as always, I've been the Inferno Dragon. Goodbye. Oh wait, by the way, their channel names are in the description. Fireboy and Foxes are in the description, and also the original videos, and for all three of our hybrids are in the description. So watch them if you want to check them out. And now I'm leaving. Adios.